Scotland achieved back-to-back wins in the Six Nations Spring for the first time at the weekend. Statistics might have made for some grim reading, but they're only 2 points off England with 2 wins from 3 in the Six Nations. Welcome to another Scotsman Rugby Show, and in this programme we'll be looking back at that incredible win by Scotland against the Irish in this stadium at the weekend. We also have the tries from the Scotland Under-20 game against the Irish Under-20s down at Netherdale in Galashiels. And we'll be looking at the special memorial to Bill McLaren, which was unveiled in Wilton Lodge Park in Hawick. We also have tries from around the grounds, and we'll be catching up with what's happening in the club world in the promotion and relegation stakes. And there's even space for our big bear to make his way into the 5 quick questions hot seat. But first, let's kick off by looking back at that fantastic match at the weekend between Scotland and Ireland. It was a test match dominated by the Irish, who were better than Scotland in almost every aspect of the game at Murrayfield, except the one that mattered, the scoreboard. Ireland led 8-0 after Craig Gilroy try and a rare successful kick from debutant standoff Paddy Jackson, and it took 50 minutes before Scotland set a foot in the Irish 22. Yet 4 penalty goals from Greg Laidlaw and some woeful finishing by the Irish left Scots cheering a 12-8 victory. Scott Johnson's side are now second equal in the table with Wales, who they meet back at Murrayfield on March the 9th. Here's what Johnson and Scotland skipper Kelly Brown and their Irish counterparts thought of that match.
We showed a different side to ourselves. We showed some real great resolve and some great character, and they're great qualities. Now the key is trying to put our positive qualities with the ball into play with the great strong character we showed there today, but we've got to be honest and say that wasn't perfect from us.
I thought though we created a lot of good quality ball for our backs to attack with, and I think you saw that as well with the line breaks that we made. But you know, it's a bit disappointing right now that we didn't convert those opportunities.
Oh, the first half was quite interesting. I thought there was only one team out there, and I couldn't work out which one it was. It wasn't mine, that's for sure. But look, at the end, once again, I'm not as good as you. The table that I hit a few times reflected, but you get a bit personal here in the fact you're barracking for your own side. But I'm not in the game to bagging referees publicly. Privately, slightly different. But, so I'm not there. And look, at the end of the day, he's got a job to do. I'm just a bit confused with what we're putting priorities on, because every time we come against a referee we have a slightly different interpretation, and I think we need some clarity.
They're good pros, they've trained hard, you know, everybody's extremely disappointed. Sometimes if you speak straight afterwards, right, you're not going to sum it up. So we need to do that in a professional way and take a look at it rather than some one-liner that's going to make it's not going to make a difference after it. You know, 80% of what happened out there, everybody already, you know, we already know. So we just have to analyse it and work on it to get it better for the next time.
At half time I felt like we must have watched Ali and Foreman or something. We were just lulling them into some false sense of security. But to answer your question, no, my neck was getting sore looking down one end of the pitch. I just didn't get a vision anywhere else. And it was, you know, it's a funny thing. I've played in games where I've been the other side as well, where it puts a bit of pressure on you as the team that should be in front. A bit of scoreboard pressure. You don't get. You look at the scoreboard, and we went in at 3-0. I would have taken that. I would have taken that in 20 minutes into the game. So we took it, and we took our chances, and they didn't, and they'll be hurting because of that. So we'll enjoy the next 24 hours. There's no doubt, but we've got to get back on it. We want to be a good quality side. We've got to acknowledge that we need to work on a few things.
In fairness, they held on to the ball, I thought, quite well. Played the corners quite well and put us under a lot of pressure. We probably didn't help ourselves at times with mistakes, giving them easy outs. But even, you know, coming into the last 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I thought we applied a lot of pressure, and we didn't get the breaks, didn't take the opportunities.
There was a lot of talk last week that we hadn't won back-to-back matches in the Six Nations since, I think it was 2001, you know, so yeah, you know, we won the game, and that is 2 matches back to back, so we'll enjoy it over the next day or so, but we're aware that that was by no means perfect and that we need to improve.
It was trebles all round for Scottish rugby at the weekend, as Glasgow also claimed a fantastic win over Ulster, the current leaders in the Rabo Direct Pro 12, while the under-20s claimed a fine win against the Irish under-20s down in Galashiels. We've got tries from that match and commentary from Bruce Miller.
Right, it comes along the back line again, a little kick through there. The Irish player slow to turn there, and this could be the first try of the night for the Scots, and it's the fullback Rory Young from Edinburgh Accies who gathers the ball and touches down for the first score of the night. 10 minutes on the clock here at Netherdale. Scotland 5, Ireland 0. Hands Ireland the ball with the scrum on halfway. Intercept there by the Scots. Can the Irish defence get back to make the tackle? They'll not get there, and Scotland will score the second try of the night from the interception. And the try scorer is Boroughmuir's right winger Damien Hoyland. As Ireland shifted the ball to their left, Damien Hoyland took the ball, and there was no stopping him as he sped away from the Irish cover defence. And Tommy Allen, who kicked the earlier conversion of Rory Young's try, now tasked again with adding the extras, and he is successful with 17 minutes on the clock here. It's Scotland 14, Ireland 3. The Scots try and drive them back in the tackle. Irish retain possession, out it goes, could be space out there in the corner, referee on the spot. And it comes again from McGrath to the feet of Ryan Murphy. This time the Irish get the scrum moving forward. In fact, the referee doesn't need a series of scrums. Across he goes underneath the posts, awards the penalty try to the Irish. And no mistake made from in front of the post by Thomas Daly. He adds the extras. It's Scotland 14, Ireland 20. The Scots still in possession, finding it hard going, but a chance down the stand side. The Irish caught short. They're down the blind side, and Damien Hoyland goes in at the corner for the Scots. Shot of defenders on the blind side. It was spotted by Ali Price. He gave a scoring pass to the Boroughmuir winger Damien Hoyland, who goes in at the corner for the Scots. Scotland 19, Ireland 20, the conversion to come. Tommy Allen. Hurled that one back in beautifully, and Tommy Allen takes Scotland back into the lead with about 7.5 minutes left to play here at Netherdale. It's Scotland 21, Ireland 20. The referee assuring that the Irish stay on side. The referee indicates that time is up, and with that, Scotland kick the ball off to the park. And you can see what that means to the Scottish players as they win this under-20 Six Nations International. It finished here at Netherdale. Scotland 21, Ireland 20.
Oh, we did really dig deep there. Our second half, we were pretty much against it. Sin bin and everything, but the boys dug really deep there, and it showed we've been trading so much in the week on our defence again, and it showed in this game, and the boys really dug deep today.
It's fair play to Scotland. They came out firing, and we just didn't match them enough, so we didn't. So, you know, we just have to pick up from this here, playing France 2 weeks' time. Just have to pick up and push on now. You know, so proud of the players. We really had to dig deep. There were parts of our game that weren't great. We made it difficult for ourselves in the first half by not playing to the game plan. And, you know, words were said at half-time. Second half, we maybe went too far the other way, but you can't deny the character in this group of lads. They're absolutely fantastic and never gave up.
I mentioned Glasgow Warriors' success over Ulster in the Rabo Direct last week, but it doesn't alter the league standings. Ulster are still at the top on 59 points, with Glasgow on 56 after 16 games played. Leinster and Ospreys come next, with Edinburgh a disappointing 10th with only 23 points. The race is on now for the home semi-finals, with Glasgow and Ulster currently holding the positions. And in Scottish Club Rugby, Ayr's win at home to Curry at the weekend, combined with Gala going down at Stirling County, means Ayr have claimed the Scottish Championship for the second time in their history. Ayr and Gala have been well ahead of the competition for a good number of weeks, but a look at the table tells you that incredibly only 3 points separate the 3rd and 8th teams in the league, and all are in contention for the other 2 places available in the British and Irish Cup next season for finishing in the top 4. Moving to the Championship now, and there are 2 clubs still in contention for the automatic promotion spots back to Premier 1, leaders Hawick and Glasgow Hawks, and they met at the weekend down at Mansfield Park. Going into the game, Hawick were 10 points clear, but Hawks have 3 games in hand. It was finally poised at 6-6 going into injury time, and then this happened.
Now Hawick have stolen it. Cotto get the ball out wide. It comes out to Hawk. Lee Armstrong going to give it to Gibbs. No, Armstrong, he's in. He's there. Hawick have gone in. Lee Armstrong has gone in for the try. 3 minutes of injury time played here at Mansfield Park, and Lee Armstrong has crashed over for the try. It's Hawick 11, it's Glasgow Hawks 6. Lee Armstrong may have just kept Hawick in the hunt for this national title.
In Championship A, GHA are 10 points clear of Cartha Queen's Park, but they've played 2 games more, while in the B division, Howe Fife are clear of Peebles, but Peebles have a game in hand. And those 2 clubs come together at the Gates on March the 9th. Peebles have warmed up for that game by posting more than 100 points in their last 2 league matches. Here we have some of the crackers they scored against Hawick YM recently. Now we move to Hawick for something quite different, a memorial to the late great Bill McLaren, which was unveiled by his widow Bet last week in Wilton Lodge Park. Stuart Cameron reports.
A large crowd came to watch the ceremony, including Che Blythe and one of Hawick's greatest rugby players, Jim Rennick. It was an emotional day for the family, but a very proud one, as the bust created by sculptor Ruaridh McKeever and his team will now be a permanent fixture in Hawick, the town that Bill McLaren called home.
Very emotional. I think probably anyone who's here could see by our reaction that it's been a very emotional day, but now a very happy one as well. Now that we've seen the memorial and we can see Dad's face and it's there, it's a physical reminder actually of how important he was to Hawick and Hawick was to him.
I like it. I think it's good, and I think it's good that we want to keep the name going, and I think we should. That when we come round the park, you see his figure there, looking out after us. I suppose lots of people like many stories about Bill, and many good stories as well.
Well, when I interviewed him for the last time, 2007 it was, we joked about the statue. He said it'll be a place that his pupils could come and throw snowballs at, but he'd have been really chuffed with today.
He would be chuffed, but that's a very typical answer of Dad. You know, he was so modest, and he used to idolise Jimmy Guthrie. I remember him talking quite a lot about Jimmy Guthrie, and he didn't know an awful lot about Stevie Hislop, but I think he'd be very happy to be in the park along with those 2.
I could see these great beetling eyebrows of Bill's, which are always a trademark of his mother's side of the family, the Guy's side of the family. And I think an awful lot of people are going to come through the park in the years to come and enjoy that, and just think about all that the man did, and enjoy the thoughts and the memories of some of the great rugby commentaries. There's nobody does it like Bill McLaren. Nobody ever has done it, nobody will do it, and nobody at the moment can do it, let me tell you, because we're all very third-rate compared to him. He was the master.
And now for our 5 quick questions feature. And in the spotlight this week, it's former Heriots and Grand Slam winning tight head, Iain the Bear Milne.
I suppose the memories were, A, the complete surprise for being picked by a team, having never played B rugby before, and then playing against old adversary at full hour. And also it was Mike Gibson's final game, which was a great honour for him to play in. And I think we'd gone a run of 13 games at that stage without a victory, and we got an 11-all draw. So for my first game, it was brilliant. And I have to say, as a young student, to get free meals in the Bruntsfield Hotel was wonderful, and gorgeous women afterwards was something I'll never forget. Oh, my boyhood hero would have to be a man called Stuart Barnes, who was my coach at Heriots when I was in second year at school, who I'll never forget the day he came up to me. I was sort of a bit of a soldier in these days, and he came up to me and said, "You were man of the match for your tackling, Iain." And I'll never forget that comment, and we've been friends ever since. Two memorable games sticking in my mind, if that's okay. One would be the England game 33-6 when we beat them at Murrayfield in 1986, when he had the crowd chanting "Easy, easy." On a personal basis, a strange game for a lot of people, but it was the 84 Australian game, when we were up against a formidable front row of McIntyre, Lawton and Rodriguez. And we actually beat them in the scrums, which for me, it was probably the most formidable front row there was at that time. And for a personal point of view, it was the greatest game I ever played. Toughest opponent would be one of two people. Vaccarin of France in my earlier on careers, very strong scrummager, and latterly Steve McDowell of New Zealand. The greatest player, I have to say, was my clubmate and captain, Mr. Andy Irvine. Inspirational player, took the game to a different level, and on a personal basis, showed me levels of fitness I never believed were possible.
We'll have another Scotland rugby legend on our show in 2 weeks' time, so join us then, and we'll know whether Scotland have been able to make it 3 wins out of 3 here at Murrayfield by beating Wales in the RBS Six Nations Championship.